The original power has entered into the subtle physical of Savitri. It has occupied center below center, and Savitri is now a different Savitri. It is the rush of Mahakundalini which has brought about this tremendous change in Savitri. She is in full possession of the power that is necessary to meet death. That may not be yet sufficiently strong to conquer death, but that is the necessary condition which has already got established in Savitri. The entry of the Mahakundalini is to establish the power, but at the same time there is the drag of the present human nature that also must go away. But before that, what is necessary is to fix up the Divine Shakti, the consciousness force in the soul. And that is what has happened. The Almighty power, the original power has entered into the Ajna Chakra, and with that came a new and glad working. The whole nature is raised, a new and glad working. Thoughts became the martyr's thoughts. Things now started carrying heavenly sense. From Ajna Chakra, the power has entered into the Vishuddha, the throat center. And there, what is revealed is the meaning of God. God's meaning in it, for which it was made. The word, the power of expression, or giving you form, it is that which is revealed. Man, the power has entered into the Vishuddha. Down below, as the power enters, immortal's will takes into control every action. There is the governance of the immortal. Life is governed by the divine power itself. At every act now becomes an act of God when it starts entering the heart, the anahata. In the kingdom of the lotus, the heart, love, chanting is pure, hymeneal hymn, made life and body mirrors of sacred joy, and all the emotions give themselves to God. A change has taken place in the anahata. Down below at Manipura were tamed into instruments a greater calm to do a work of God on earthly soil. When the power has entered the Manipura, now the center is ready to do God's work on earthly soil. Down below, at the nether centers, petty parts, at Swadhisthana, all was changed into a sweet and boisterous play. Down below, at the base, at Muladhara, where the serpent energy sleeps. In the deep place where once the serpent slept, there came a grip on matter's giant powers. Now the powers of matter are under its control. For large utilities, powers of matter under its control. For what purpose? For utilities in life. A firm ground was made for heaven's descending might. Matter is now ready to receive the powers of heaven and express them in it. Behind all these centers reigned her sovereign, deathless soul. Savitri's deathless soul is what is governing behind all these centers. Casting aside its veil of ignorance, the veil of ignorance is now removed. It is removed there at all. And what is present there is the harmony. Casting aside its veil of ignorance, allied to gods and cosmic beings and powers, that soul, that power, that center, allied to gods and cosmic beings and powers, it builds the harmony of its human state. This is what has happened when the soul is working from behind with all the powers, all the centers charged with that power. It built behind all reign her sovereign, deathless soul, casting aside its veil of ignorance, allied to gods and cosmic beings and powers, it built the harmony of its human state, surrendered into the great world mother's hand. It has offered itself totally to the world mother. Only she obeyed her soul supreme behest. Savitri's soul is only accepting the command of that world mother. Surrendered into the great world mother's hand, she obeyed her soul supreme behest in the enigma of the inconscient world. Now the enigma of this world, of this inconscient world, of this puzzling world does not puzzle her anymore because she has surrendered herself totally now to the world mother. A secret soul behind, supporting all, is master and witness of our ignorant life. It is that now which has taken possession of things, admits the person's look and nature's role. It is a soul which allows the being to work here, allows the nature to work here. A secret soul behind, supporting all, is master and witness of our ignorant life, admits the person's look and nature's role. What the presence would like to do, what the power would like to do, it is that it allows now to do because it has surrendered itself totally to the world mother. But once the hidden doors are flung apart, then the veiled king steps out in nature's front. All along, who was a witness Purusha, all along, who was only the giver of sanction, that Purusha, he comes out and takes full possession of Prakriti. But once the hidden doors are flung apart, then the veiled king steps out in nature's front. A light comes down into the ignorance. His heavy, painful knot loosens its grasp. The mind becomes a mastered instrument, and life a hue and figure of the soul. Such is the change which takes place when the veiled king comes out. He is now the master of nature, Purusha, lording over Prakriti. A light comes down into the ignorance. His heavy, painful knot, the knot of ignorance, is loosened. The mind, which is an instrument of ignorance, becomes a mastered instrument in the hands of the divine power, and life a human figure of the soul. In other words, every aspect of human personality has opened to the working of the presence which is there behind nature. But once the hidden doors are flung apart, then the waking steps out in nature's front. A light comes down into the ignorance. Its heavy, painful knot loosens its grasp. The mind becomes a mastered instrument, and life a hue and figure of the soul. All happy grows towards knowledge and towards bliss. It is all happiness, knowledge, and bliss. A divine puissance a divine puissance then takes nature's place. When the Purusha has come forward, then it is the divine Shakti who takes possession of all the activities of nature here. This is the tantric transformation which has taken place now in Savitri. The true Shakti has come out and taken charge of all the activities of the lower nature. Because the divine Purusha has come forward. A divine puissance then takes nature's place and pushes the movements of our body and mind, possessor of our passionate hopes and dreams, the beloved despot of our thoughts and acts. She streams into us with her unbound force, that fusion, that Shakti, that Parvati. It is she who is constantly streaming through us. She streams into us with her unbound force into mortal limbs, the immortal's rapture and power. That is the tantric transformation which has taken place in the case of Savitri. The divine puissance is now taking charge of nature. A divine fusion then takes nature's place and pushes the movements of our body and mind, possessor of our passionate hopes and dreams, the beloved despot, the divine fusions, she is the beloved despot of our thoughts and acts. She streams into us with her unbound force into mortal limbs, the immortal's rapture and power. An inner law of beauty shapes our lives. That is the change. An inner law of beauty shapes our lives. Our words become the natural speech of truth. Each thought is a ripple on a sea of light. This is what happens with the transformation. Then, when that transformation takes place, when that transformation occurs, then sin and virtue leave the cosmic list. Cosmic list, the combatants field, where they constantly battle against each other, sin versus virtue. Then sin and virtue leave the cosmic list. They struggle no more in our delivered hearts because the heart has been delivered to divine fusions. Our acts chime with God's simple, natural good or serve the rule of a supernal right. This is what happens when sin and virtue leave the cosmic list. Sin and virtue, we have different signs, different types of sins, different types of virtues. They are not just ethical elements, but they are aspects of our subconscious nature. There are 7 Catholic virtues, 4 cardinal, and 3 theological. What are the 7 virtues? Prudence, justice, temperance, fortitude. These are the 4 cardinal virtues. And the 3 theological virtues are faith, hope, love or charity. Love or charity. Prudence, justice, temperance, fortitude, faith, hope, love. Again, these 7 virtues are pitted, 7 vices, 7 evils, 7 sins. The 7 sins are lust, gluttony, greed, sloth, wrath, envy, pride. So we have got 7 virtues and 7 vices, and they constantly battle in our life. According to the Indian tradition, we have Shat Ripus, 6 enemies sitting within us. The 6 enemies are lust, kama, greed, lobha, anger, krodha, arrogance, mada, attachment, moha, covetousness, matsara. Kama, lobha, krodha, mada, moha, matsara. These are the 6 enemies. And then there are, corresponding to them, 6 positive qualities also. The positive qualities are jnana, knowledge, bala, strength, aishwarya, royalty, virya, heroic nature, shakti, force, tejasa, fiery nature, jnana, bala, aishwarya, virya, shakti, tejas, against kama, krodha, mada, moha, matsara, lobha. These are constantly battling in our life. Gita also speaks of 6 types which we inhabit: serenity, self restraint, austerity, purity, forbearance, and uprightness. These are the noble qualities which are present in us. In the 18th chapter of the Gita, we have these 6 qualities: Shama, Dama, Tapasa, Shaucha, Kshanti, and Arjava. Shama, serenity; Dama, self-restraint, holding back ourselves; Tapas, austerity; Shaucha, purity; Kshanti, forbearance; and Arjava, uprightness. These are the 6 qualities which a noble soul always has. In fact, conquering these evils, these vices, these sins is what Vishnu achieves in us. Vishnu, who is the conqueror of enemy. Shatrujit. One of the names of Vishnu is Shatrujit, who has conquered the enemy. These are the six qualities, six vices, six virtues. All of them are there in us in certain degrees. Both of them positive and negative, at the same time holding us back from the true reality of our nature, of our swabhava, our soul quality, and to bring out the soul quality of ours, the swabhava of the individual, it is the work of Vishnu. He becomes the conqueror of the enemies. He becomes Shatrujita. This is what happened in the case of Savitri. Sin and virtue leave the cosmic list. They struggle no more in our delivered hearts. Our acts chime with God's simple, natural good, or serve the rule of supernal right. The struggle no more. Shatrujita has come and conquered them. In the case of Savitri, it is the divine fusions which has entered into her soul, into her being, into her subtle physical centers, and conquered all these enemies.